How's it going, everybody? I am Alienware, and this is my Final Fantasy VII walkthrough. Final Fantasy VII is by far my favorite game in the Final Fantasy franchise, and I thought it was appropriate that since it has been announced at E3 that they are remaking Final Fantasy VII for the PS4, that it would be a good idea to play the original again. So here we have it. Final Fantasy VII on the original PlayStation back in 1997. Yes, this game is 18 years old, and it is still, such an amazing game. Obviously, it's an amazing game if they're willing to remake it after 18 years. For me, the best part is the magic system. It has such a unique systems. I don't think it's ever been, I think Final Fantasy IX kind of attempted something similar, but this is still by far the best one. Obviously, the graphics could use a little bit of work, and the dialogue is subpar, I think. So I'm wondering how they're going to do the new one. Obviously, the graphics are going to be better, but I'm wondering if they're going to keep everything else the same, or if they plan on like doing a different storyline. It'd be interesting to see how they do it. So the first thing I like to do is fix controls and configure everything. That should be good. Be sure to get the potions off this guy, and watch as Barret runs past the soldiers and leaves me to handle them by myself. They're not really an issue because they're easy, but I think it's just kind of ridiculous. The battles are pretty straightforward. Used for the first part of the game, just keep using your regular attack, and they fall pretty quickly. I'm not going to bother changing anybody's name. I'm just going to keep them original. Kind of, I like that, but that way. Once this job's over, I'm out of here. Now remember that Barret is telling everybody not to move in a group. He's getting kind of pissed off that they're all huddled together. The problem with that misdirected anger is that this is a very linear place, and there's only one way to get from point A to point B, so it's impossible not to run in a group. Despite all that, Barret is my favorite character in the game. He's a fucking badass, and you'll see his weapon that he uses in the game is pretty awesome. But here we're all running around. Everybody is in a group. Intruder, intruder. And yet... So there's really only one path to go. If you go the other way, Wedge will tell you not to. So we get a little bit of a lecture from Barret here. Essentially, the planet is kind of a living thing. It has its own life force. And Shinra, this company, is sucking up that life force that turns it into Mako energy, which is what they use for electricity. And if Shinra keeps doing it, then eventually the planet will die. There's more explanation later, but that's kind of the gist of it. And there's really like no countries in this game. There's just these cities, so there's no kind of oversights. Which is weird considering the technological advances. You'd think society would advance as well, but that's too complicated for a video game from the 90s. So the first time I ever played this, I was playing with my brother, and we thought she was talking about this little yellow light right here. And so we were trying to hit that switch, but this is the button. The one that actually looks like an elevator button to go up and down. Not the big fucking yellow light. We probably spent like 10 minutes trying to figure out how to do it. And then ended up doing it on accident. And Cloud's gotta be the cool guy. It's not my problem. I'm just here for the money. I think that's what his business card says. And for some reason, Jesse kind of hangs around during the battles. And then just takes off running again. Here she explains how to use a ladder. Basically, just walk up to it and hit your confirm button. And this next part is kind of confusing. It's about the only place you might get lost. If you need to know where to go, if you hit select, it brings up all these cursors. That red arrow indicates an exit, and the green indicates a ladder. And now you can see why I think Barret's such a badass. He got a fucking gun on his arm. Look at that thing. But continue using your physical attacks. Cloud does have some magic, but these enemies aren't strong enough to really worry about that. And it's probably better to save your MP till the boss fight. The only time I would say to use magic is if his limit gauge fills up, and it's either use magic or use your limit break. In that case, save the limit break for the boss. And right there is a save point. Feel free to save your game, especially if it's your first time, just in case you do die in the boss fight. You don't have to worry about watching that entire intro again and going through this whole level. You can't get around this materia, so just pick it up. And it is definitely one you want. You can't use it yet, you'll learn how later, but for now, you just gotta hang on to it. Cloud has some serious mental problems that make him levitate, and nobody seems to care. Here they come. And now we gotta do our first boss fight. I wouldn't worry too much about it, it's super easy. Have Barret just attack and use Bolt as Cloud. Search scopes. He just focuses on one of your guys. It's like right now he'll only attack Cloud until he doesn't know the search scope. And you want to take it kind of slow because he has a counterattack at one point, so you don't want to attack at that point because then he unleashes a laser on both your guys. So it's going to take it slow. That way you don't mistakenly attack at that point. What's this? Clouds, limit break. And keep an eye on your HP. His most powerful attack is about like 75 hit points, it can be. So if your HP gets around 100, go and use a potion. So this is what I was talking about. When his tail is up like that, you don't want to attack, because it has a powerful attack on both people. So whenever he does this, just kind of hang out, chill, and wait for him to lower his tail, like so. And I can get back to kicking his ass. And that is how you do it. Da, da, da. So at this point, we gotta get out of the reactor, and I have to worry about the time on the bomb. So I have 10 minutes to get out of here, which is a super long time. It takes me like 3.5, 4 minutes if I battle everything. So go ahead and equip the assault gun on Barrett that you got from killing the monster, or from the boss, and fight your way back to the entrance. Like I said, I'm going to go ahead and fight everybody, because you do need a lot of money when you get to the town, because there's a shop that you need to equip yourself. If you are nervous about the time and you just want to run from everything, if you hit L1 and R1, that'll make them run. And you can escape the battle that way. But like I said, 10 minutes is a long time. It is not a problem. So Jesse's leg is stuck. You have to help her. If you don't help her now, you won't be able to get to the door later on, and you have to come back anyway. So let's take care of it while you're here. Be the nice guy. Follow her up the ladder. So now it's a back attack. It does extra damage. So if you do the L1 R1 to run away, you can face him so you don't take as much damage, I believe. I think that's the way it works. Run, run, run as fast as you can. You get it here, talk to Jessie, she'll unlock this door. And if you hadn't helped her before, she won't be here to unlock it. And you have to go back. Talk to Biggs. And now we've got almost 7 minutes to get out of here. I like to battle for a while, that way you can get some money and experience. If you want to, just run to the end of the video, or into the screen, and it'll go to the cutscene screen. But what I'm going to do is battle the monsters until I have about a minute left, and then I'll head on out. So at this point you can just run down the stairs and out the screen, and you'll go to a cut screen where it animates the explosion. But I like to just kind of battle. That way I can get experience and get the gil I need for the next part. So that's what I'm going to do, battle round, and then when I have about a minute left, that's when I'll start heading back on with the game. Because you don't want to go through all this and then end up getting caught in the explosion, so it's an automatic game over. 40 seconds left, so I'm just going to go ahead and not take the chance of getting caught in a battle. So once you run down the bottom, you get this cut screen of a beautiful explosion that's saving the planet. So Barris has a split up, so of course the best thing to do at this point is to follow him. Apparently this team does not know how to split up. Now this is kind of an important part, though you wouldn't know it at this point. This is Eris. She is one of the main characters that will join us later on. You have the option later in the game of who you want to take on a date, or rather, who will take you on a date. If you choose nothing, hey listen, and then buy a flower from her, it helps your chances of having Eris go on a date with you. But I prefer to say you'd better get out of here, because then there's another character, Tifa, or Tifa, however you pronounce it. She'll be the one to ask you on the dates. And I like it better that way, because Tifa is Cloud's childhood friend, and it just seems a better story for me. So now Cloud has to get through the city while being hunted by soldiers. You can either fight or run away. I prefer to fight. The outcome is the same, but this way you get some money and experience. Alright, so once you either fight or run from all three groups, you get cornered. But, of course, Cloud does not have that kind of time. He's got a train to catch. And of course he's not going to fall over, because he's fucking Cloud. Thing is, Cloud didn't make it back to the train in time because they split up because Barrett told him to split up. And now he's saying that they're the fucking screw-ups. Goddamn dick. I wonder what that could be. Knock, knock, knock. Here's Cloudy. It's just what I do. Nah, shit. What a smartass. Now pay attention. His face is completely clean. And yet she says, it's pitch black. No, the fuck it isn't. You're just looking for a reason to touch me, you creep. So, when talk to Jesse, talk to Jesse in order to continue the game. Jesse, who thinks bombs are flashy stuff, obviously doesn't have respect for the destructive power, but what are we gonna do? And now you get to look at an exciting animation of a train's path. And to sum that up, Midgar is a city that is owned by Shinra Corporation. It's one big city that's held up by a huge support, and then it's 8 sectors on different places that each have their own support. And that's where people live, and then underneath the city, because the supports keep it 50 meters above the ground, and each sector has its own slum where the poor live. Oh my god, that was so fucking exciting. Even more excitement. Speak of the devil. And the devil shall appear. You never know what kind of creeps will come out. Like the kind of creeps that say your face is dirty just to have an excuse to touch you. They're already here, Jesse. They're already here. Now we gotta talk to Barrett. He gets all mopey about the situation of the city. That fucking pizza. So philosophical. Cloudistottle. And that's where I'm going to end. And that's where I'm going to end the video today. There's a lot to buy in the next part, so I'm going to need to do some grinding. I'll show you what that is, but I need to get about 1500 gil in order to get everything I need. So everybody goes to the hideout. I'm going to run over here, start battling. Be sure to like the video, it really helped me out, and subscribe, that way you know next time I upload part 2. And I will see you next time.